community impact.
That is correct.
DCI.
Not Drum Corps International.
Not DCI, okay.
I cannot play the drums.
We have some really important stuff. We will get to the forecast here in just a second, but we have some important stuff that we want to talk about. Big telethon going on. Tell us a little about what's going on in Nourish North Texas.
Yeah, maybe we don't cover up the phone number so people can call and donate.
Please.
This is our 5th annual Nourish North Texas. This is our partnership with the North Texas Food Bank, the Tarrant Area Food Bank, and we are raising money to provide meals to North Texans who face food insecurity. So listen to this. DFW is 3rd in the nation for people facing hunger.
Really?
3rd in the whole country.
Really?
So then consider that we're in the summertime.
Wow.
And families who are facing food insecurity, whose children rely on free and reduced lunch at school and rely on those school breakfast programs, now don't have access to those because we're in the summer. So those families have, on average, 10 extra meals to provide every week in their homes.
Amazing.
So that's why we do this telethon in June, so that we can make sure that families that need the support can have the nutritious meals that they need, not only for the parents, but for the children as well. So we've made it very easy. You can call this number right here, 972-988-8888, and make a donation. We have volunteers next door in one of our other studios answering the phones to take your donations. I checked just before I came out here. We have, through the phone bank alone, so not including any donations that have gone straight to either food bank, but through the phone bank alone, we are right at $65,000.
Wow.
Which is awesome. We've been going since 6 a.m. I'm probably delirious at this point, but we're going to be going until 10:30.
Amazing.
So people can call. They can also go online to wfa.com/donate, and there's a form there that you can fill out if you'd rather do it yourself instead of calling in. But we would love your support. Our goal is for the campaign as a whole, so not just including the phone bank, but also the donations that come straight into the food banks, is $350,000. The reason for that is because donations that come into the North Texas Food Bank will be matched by HEB up to $350,000. So if that happens, that's $700,000. Then you think about how far that money goes. Every dollar donated pays for 3 meals.
$1 pays for 3 meals?
3 meals.
Wow.
So $700,000
Oh, wow.
times 3 is more than 2 million meals.
Amazing.
That we could provide to North Texans who need the food.
That's incredible.
So we're going till 10:30. Please, please, please call and donate. We would really love your support. And what questions can I answer for you?
If someone's watching right now and says, well, I only have like $1, $2, should I call?
Every dollar counts. The donation form online, the minimum donation is $10.
Okay.
But $10 is accessible for a lot of people who are watching us tonight. We've had callers come in with huge donations. We had a wonderfully generous donor this morning call in to donate $2,500.
Wow.
We've had people call in with $10 donations. But here's the thing. $1 pays for 3 meals. That's 30 meals if you donate 10 bucks. So that money is being stretched quite far to help fill the gap with the food insecurity that we have here.
And all the meals just for North Texans.
Yep.
So 2 million meals. We hit the goal of 2.1 million. All those meals are going to North Texas.
That's right. And you might be wondering, well, how are we dividing up what money goes to the North Texas Food Bank and what money goes to the Tarrant Area Food Bank? By the way, I'm doing a terrible job of following my own advice and I'm covering up the phone number.
No.
So I'm going to step over here. It depends on where you as the donor live. If your zip code is in one of the areas that's serviced by the North Texas Food Bank, your donation will go to the North Texas Food Bank. If you live in the Tarrant Area Food Bank service area, your money will go to the Tarrant Area Food Bank. So it's just an easy way for us to divide it to make sure that the dollars stay local, but we would love your support.
That's amazing. So summer, if we could touch one more time about summer being more important than the other seasons perhaps here in North Texas, because of what meteorologist, of course, I'm thinking is because of the extreme heat. Are people, what exactly is the
Well, the need is greater, right?
The
because
need is greater.
You have children in homes who don't have access to those school breakfast and lunch programs.
I didn't think about that.
That's 2 meals a day that they won't have access to when they're at home during the summer.
Good point.
So, you know, there is a statistic that in North Texas, 1 in 5 children is food insecure.
1 in 5.
That's 1 in 5 children that face going hungry. But because of programs like the free breakfast at schools, the free and reduced lunch programs, they don't, because they have those meals provided to them at school during the day. But when summer is here and school is out, that's when the need is greater because they don't have access to those programs.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And the other thing to think about that not a lot of people do is hunger affects everyone. Hunger is not a visible need, right? Like, it's our neighbors. It's the people we interact with at the gas station or the grocery store or at church or at the library, wherever we're going. Yeah. Hunger can affect everyone around us. And that's why it's really important for those of us who are able, whether it's $10 or $10,000, to give back to the food banks because they provide such an important service to North Texans. And I'll just share personally, I was speaking earlier today with Matt Howerton about the phone bank that we're doing. And he asked me, what sort of success stories have you heard from people who have benefited from the food bank? And I said, Matt, I'm a success story. Really? I would not be where I am today without the help of a food bank. When I was growing up, my family needed support from food banks and food pantries. I was one of those kids who relied on the free and reduced price lunch at school so I could eat. But guess what? I'm not alone. There are people all across North Texas who that is a similar situation they face. But because of services like what the food banks provide, not only are we able to eat great meals, but we're able to eat nutritious meals. Yeah. And that's really important too. And so that's why we're doing it today. That's why it's a passion of mine.
Great. So $10, that's 30 meals, 972-988-8888. And if they don't want to call, they can donate online.
WFAA.com/donate. There's a form right on that page. You can fill it out and submit it. We're going until 10:30 tonight, but good news, that online donation form is actually going to stay active through the weekend. So if for some reason you're seeing this later, or maybe you heard about the initiative later, there's still a way for you to give back.
Great. Anything else we should add about that? I think.
Please donate.
Please. Yes.
972-988-8888. And our volunteers are answering phones right now, so we hope to hear from you.
Awesome. Thanks you so much, Ryan Wood.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jesse.
Yes, of course. You want to do the weather?
I did weather in college.
Did you really?
I did.
Would you like to?
It's going to be really hot.
There you go.
As you can see. 94, 94, 95.
This time of the year, anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it if I can do it.
It's so simple.
But see, here's the thing. I did weather in college.
Yeah.
And then I learned I'm bad at math and I'm better at producing. And so I went behind the scenes.
And that's why you're good at what you do.
It's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, Ryan. All right. So here's what we're going to talk about here for this weather update. I found it hard to believe that June so far has actually been cooler than normal when you take the average high. Now, the reason for that is if you remember the very beginning of the month, we had multiple days with highs in the 80s. If you look here, we had a high of 81 on the 4th, 80 on the 10th, 83 on the 12th. We had another day of 89 on the 1st, 85 on the 15th. That really kind of skewed the numbers down a little bit. So the average high temperature when you put all these together was 90.4. 0.7 degrees cooler than normal for the month in terms of highs. And this month we've seen 2.15 inches of rain. We're actually slipping a little bit below normal now by an inch. This year 20.59, above normal by 0.85. June is typically our third wettest month, so it's not good to fall behind in June because it's our third wettest month, followed by our two driest months in a given year. July and August. Temperatures now in the upper 80s, DFW, 89, heat index 93. The high today was 92. Another day of below normal temperatures. The high normally is 93. The low this morning comfortably 74 degrees. And as we go through the next 5 days, highs are going to stay in the middle 90s. We'll even go to the upper 90s on Sunday, 97. Our normal high this time of the year is now getting into the 94 degree territory, which Chief Meteorologist Pete Delkus declares that 95 is when you call it hot. 94 is not hot, it's just very warm to him. I'm not sure what he knows though. Sunday, it'll feel like 102. Monday, it'll feel like 100. Tuesday, it'll also feel like 100 when you factor in the humidity. We have very few pop-up showers and thunderstorms across North Texas this evening. None of these are severe, but a nice little downpour of rain right there. If you go toward Rockwall, Royce City, a lot of this heavy rain falling there on Ray Hubbard. We have a little bit more rain out toward Emory and Sulphur Springs and Greenville. So temperatures there a little bit cooler with rain-cooled air, low to mid-80s, even 79 in Palestine. Pretty warm though, Dallas-Fort Worth, upper 80s. You factor in the dew points, and this is important. This is the true measure of moisture in the air. It feels like it's in the upper 60s and low 70s. So the muggy meter, we're kind of in that very sticky to uncomfortable category. And heat index values right now are sitting in the mid-90s. Lows tonight. 76 degrees in Fort Worth, 75 in Dallas, 78 in Denton, 77 in McKinney. Now, I'm going to toss it to a story here in a second, because the thing is, this time of the year, while it gets really hot in the afternoon, there's a lot of times during the evening, during the nighttime, we don't cool off very much. So we brought you some ways to stay cool during the night.
Some of you are melting in real time, so let's talk about how to stay cool during a heat wave.
In the thick of the summer heat, 2 words are key: sleep, cool.
This is how I cool off.
Restless sleepers are hitting social media in droves for tips to beat the bedtime heat.
Now, temperature is a really important consideration for a good night's sleep. Anywhere between 65 and 69 degrees Fahrenheit is the best temperature range.
And when the air conditioning isn't chilling you out, try some cool alternatives.
Heat rises, so set up shop downstairs.
Try out a different room in the house. Sleep closer to the ground where it's cooler. Or freeze a few bedtime items like your pillows, socks, or even sheets.
Put pillowcases in the freezer for 15 minutes before bed.
Keep your curtains closed during the day, and at night, hang a wet sheet in front of an open window or fan to circulate cooler air.
The breeze blowing through it will cause the water to evaporate, leading to a cooling effect.
And while you might think taking an ice-cold shower or chugging a glass of water will help, experts say, think again.
We recommend a lukewarm to cooler shower, and ideally helping facilitate that decline in body temperature as you head into sleep. We don't recommend chugging water before bedtime, because that will increase the risk of sleep fragmentation, waking up to have to use the bathroom. So instead, really focus on hydrating over the course of the day whenever possible.
Good information. I was shocked to hear that 65 degrees is the ideal temperature at night. That's pretty remarkably chilly. I don't know how North Texans can make that happen, a lot of us, because think of the energy bills that time of night. But there you go, 65 to 70 degrees would be good for tonight. And as we go through the day tomorrow, highs are going to be close to normal, 94, 93, in that ballpark, really where they have been. And we're going to stay dry the next couple of days. We'll bring in more little spotty shower and thunderstorm chances Monday and Tuesday of next week before we're dry again on Wednesday. So hopefully you get some rain, because as I just showed you, we are kind of falling behind. Tonight, 75 degrees, warm and muggy tonight, tomorrow 94. You know, these numbers have not been that bad for this time of the year in this part of the country. And as we go through the next 14 days, watch closely. We go through the next 7, still not bad. We go through the following 7, they're starting to creep up there. We're getting awfully close to the century mark in the next 14 days. 4th of July, 97, hot, humid. We'll have heat index values certainly above 100, but we do not have any rain in the forecast. Then beyond that, high temperatures remain on the hot side, but it is that time of the year as we get into the first week of July, rain chances stay minimal. Thanks so much for joining us here on WFAA Plus. We'll see you tomorrow.